The Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile has come out, to blast the police and also to finish the Enugu state governor. He said, "You killed 27 innocent Biafrans in Enugu. Simon Èkpá falls the zoo police." Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people of freedom all over the world. Wherever you're joining us from today, you're highly welcome to this wonderful YouTube platform that gives you updated news and information on every activities happening within Biafran territory. Please subscribe to this channel and do not forget to turn on your notifications so that you will be notified. Now let us go straight up to the issue on ground, the news in detail. The Simon Èkpá-led Biafran Republic government in exile has debunked the claim by the Nigerian police force that 27 alleged criminals, including Èkpá's supporters, were killed in Enugu State. Newsport reports that no fewer than 27 kidnappers, including Èkpá's members, were said to have been gunned down in shootouts with security operatives at various locations across the state in the past 2 weeks. However, in a swift response, Simon Èkpá Njoko, in a statement through his official S on Thursday, alleged that the 27 persons reportedly killed by the Enugu police were innocent Biafrans. Simon Èkpá stressed that the 27 persons killed were not his supporters but innocent Biafrans. According to him, the Enugu state government was engaging in propaganda to defend its offensive attack on citizens. This is false and lies. Not only that, it has exposed Nigerian state as a failed state and as a country that has failed to uphold human dignity. Simon Èkpá has no voice in Enugu. You have killed innocent Biafrans to prove a point to Abuja, he said. He further said that in Abia State, the Nigerian police opened fire and started shooting each other, thinking they were all Biafran fighters. We'll give you more details, on this issue, happening in Biafraland. But we are truly aware of the innocent Biafrans that were killed by police operatives, in Enugu State. In fact, it was an eyesore and it was very painful seeing, innocent young men who were lying lifeless on the floor. It was really painful. The videos are on social media. It's something we cannot post on this platform because of the YouTube terms and condition and their guideline. So we're actually being very, very careful. If not, we would have posted the video and you would have seen yourself, the kind of incessant and extrajudicial killing that is happening in Biafraland. So when we keep on saying these things, when we keep on revealing these atrocities, it's as if we're just talking for talking's sake or we're trying to create propaganda. But the reality is that innocent people on daily basis are being killed by these so-called security agencies who are doing everything possible to frustrate them, the innocent Biafrans. It is painful, though. It is painful. And the painful part of the whole thing is you buy innocent people, then you're raising a propaganda to, call those people Èkpá boys. Now it is no longer ESN, just as they were doing, during the time of Onyendo Mazenamdi Kanu, where every propaganda of any kidnapping and otherwise, were termed as Eastern Security Network. It is now Èkpá boys. Innocent people are being killed on daily basis. But meanwhile, without wasting any more of your time, let us play. Let us play the live broadcast of the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá Njoko.
And a lot of people will ask, what does this declaration meant to achieve? the declaration, just like every other declaration of independence of any country, unilaterally ceding state. Since the birth of the Declaration of Independence by the United States in 1776, with the U.S. Declaration of Independence, these have had at least two interrelated objectives, just like every other country. And this objective remain the delegitimization of the existing host state, today Nigeria, that rules over the ceding territory over Biafra, and the legitimization of the new emergent state, Biafra, which is ceding from existing one, Nigeria. I just want to be putting it in elementary understanding or elementary standard level for everybody, both educated and uneducated, to understand where we are going and what we are doing and exactly what you are supporting. And this particular declaration involves a lot of things. Involve listening of grievances against the ceding state or the state that is declaring the independence, injustice that have meted against them, harms suffered by the population of this emergent state of Biafra. And today, my fellow Biafrans, like I said, I am here to give you the update. Biafra Republic government in exile and the Biafra Republic government in homeland, the de facto government, has set up a declaration committee, a declaration drafting committee that has now taken it upon themselves to start working on listening our grievances against Nigeria. It is going to be political grievances and, of course, other grievances, about 3 different types of grievances that we have against Nigeria. This is the world standard of the independent declaration. So the Biafra government have constituted a committee called the Declaration Drafting Committee, which are currently working on listening our grievances against Nigeria, the injustices that Nigeria has meted against us, the harms we have suffered under Nigeria, and of course, many of these grievances will be well detailed. And it is going to come like a book, because it is going to be history that everybody will read, why we are doing what we are doing today. So my fellow Biafrans, this has been the standard way of delegitimizing the existing state, today Nigeria, and legitimizing the new state, which is going to be Biafra. I want to draw your attention or your memory to the 1776 U.S. Declaration. The new state is presented as the only remedy. Only remedy. Today, Biafra will present this new state of Biafra as the only remedy to the listed grievances that the Declaration Drafting Committee are going to list in a book. Because like I said, our grievances are endless. So it is going to come in a book form. However, in the process of dissolution of a country like USSR, and of course the former Yugoslavia, from 1919 onward, a number of federal and sub-federal units abandoned the objective of delegitimizing the old state. Like I said, our problems are peculiar. Nigeria is a very complex country, and we have found the solution, how to deal and exit from Nigeria. And believe me, if you are not supporting this government, you will regret it. Because we end up dragging you to freedom and then we give you condition. Now, state in their declaration or Act of Independence why it is difficult to establish the reason which this state did not delegitimize the existing one on their declaration. Because some of these states were no longer perceived as a functioning state, which was capable of asserting its legitimacy to rule over the ceding territory. This is apparent from the foundational constitutional charter of the Republic of Slovenia, issued at the same time as the Declaration of Independence, which in its preamble note that Slovenia no longer functions as a law-governed state capable of resolving the current problem. My fellow Biafrans, this is exactly the same thing happening between Nigeria and Biafra. Nigeria is no longer capable of resolving its current political and economic crisis. And that is one of the reasons Biafra is exiting, because Nigeria has failed to resolve its insecurity, terrorism, and all manner of political crisis, economic crisis. Nigeria have shown that they are incapacity, they are incapacitated, and they are not capable of resolving this current problem, and Biafra has a solution. Political and economic crisis. In the case of Slovenia, their Charter of 1991 preamble actually stated exactly what we are going through today, the inability of the government as at then to resolve their political and economic crisis. Moreover, this federation had been ruled by their respective communist parties. These parties and their leaders were held accountable for harms and injustices committed to the population of city state. And in the Biafra and Nigeria, we will make sure that we hold Nigeria people accountable for the injustices and the harms they have committed against Biafrans from the time of 1967 or even beyond that till this present day. We will hold all of them accountable, from Gowon to Obasanjo to every living Nigerian that has contributed in the genocide against our people. We are going to hold them responsible. It is not happening because there is no representative of Biafrans. There is nobody who summoned courage to represent Biafra people, speak to Nigeria in a language they will never understand until now. I have taken that responsibility. These parties and their leaders were held accountable for harms and injustices committed to the population of the city state, in the state of these Slovenians and all of that. However, by the time of the Declaration of Independence were issued, these parties had been removed from power and were effectively dissolved. In a sense, therefore, the grievances against this communist-ruled state belong to the past or the present, the recent past, and were no longer relevant when city state declared their independence. In our own Nigeria against Biafra, it is going to be different, because those evil government officials that committed this crime against us are still at large today, and the government is still in power. Nigeria government is still very active, killing our people in Biafraland. So we are going to make sure that we hold them very, very responsible for all the killings you see today happening in the southeast, east, and south to south. In Okwa community, or the massacre, all of them, we are going to list all these killings and we hold them responsible. One could just argue that the whole state that would have been target of the delegitimization through a list of grievances had already lost their operational legitimacy. And that's exactly the tactics that the Biafra government is applying today. We are expecting that as we are declaring the restoration of independence of Biafra, we will make sure that we reduce Nigeria to ground zero in Biafra territory through our actions from the Biafra Defense Forces. In consequence, the declaration of the independence of several federal units and later of sub-federal units, such as Kosovo, for example, of these two federal states, focus in some cases exclusively on legitimization of the new state, legitimization of their own state, because there is no need for them to delegitimize the existing state. since they have already failed. This was achieved by announcing or establishing state institutions. My fellow Biafrans, that they can hear me. Sonny, can you confirm that they can hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
All right, where did I stop?
You just said I'll be right back, and that's what I heard. I was not.
All right, okay, thank you. Because I think I have my battery is down, so I just put it on power now. All right, thank you very much. All right, so as I was saying, the issue of Kosovo, for example, in some cases, this Kosovo focused on legitimization of the new state. And this was achieved. Kosovo achieved their own independence during their declaration, by announcing or establishing state institutions that were taking over the state functions of the old state. And that's exactly, we have actually done that. Biafra government has actually established all state institutions, both in the homeland and from exile. We have actually superseded every country that have ever declared independence. We have superseded all of them. We have done what no country have actually done. We have government in the homeland, de facto government. We have created 40 United States of Biafra. We have defined our map, undisputable. We have also created the government in exile. We have already established liaison offices all over the world that will later become the embassies of Biafra. We have done, no country have ever done it in the history of freedom fighting. That is how far we have gone. And this measure is very necessary because Nigeria is a very complex country. And we needed to do something extraordinary, which we have done. And that is the reason you are seeing the attention that we are getting from DC or Washington, DC, from the United States, and other part of the world, because you can't have this particular achievement of the Biafra government today and everybody is ignoring it. No, they have predicted Nigeria breakup for many years. It never happened. And after the prediction, no reasonable, very serious individual is coming up to do something. Now, they have seen that, yes, Simon Èkpá and his government is more than serious. And they can be taken very seriously. People have been watching, decision makers have been watching from the side and observing our activities for the past 1.5 years. And today, I believe they are summoning the courage to do that, which is right. And what is it? To stand by the truth, by giving their voices for the independence of Biafra. That is what you see happening today. And we must applaud them. They have done the right thing. And those who are still waiting to see another crazy move from Simon Èkpá before they can give their voice, we will get them at the end of the day. My fellow Biafrans, the modus operandi and the pattern of the Biafra government today is something that Nigeria can never ever comprehend. Kosovo achieved this independence by establishing state institutions that were taking over the functions of the old state, or by announcing the new state commitment to several internationally sanctioned principles, exactly what the Biafra government have done today. We have been announcing the new institution, establishing our ministries as a commitment to several internationally sanctioned principles, policies, and international organizations. This declaration of independence were apparently expected. To legitimize the new state of Biafra in the eye of other world powers or other countries. My fellow Biafrans that are listening to me today, many of these countries that have fought for their independence and they got it by declaration have gone through many obstacles. And we are also going through many obstacles which we actually have defeated. This kind of legitimization of the new state in a declaration of independence often culminated in a request or appeal to other states and international organizations to recognize the independence of the new state. Exactly what Biafra is doing. But you know, all the approaches we've made so far, all the contacts we've made so far, we are just creating awareness. We're not expecting anybody to recognize us at this point because the declaration has not been made. It is after the declaration has been made, after the self-referendum has been counted, and we'll have official result, declaration will be issued. After the declaration of independence, you can now begin to call to the people that you want to recognize that. Note you have. Now you have recognized, you have declared your independence. I'm sorry, I'm speaking Finnish. I mistakenly speak Finnish. I'm sorry about that. You know, we have, you know, the language is part of me. So I just speak Finnish now. So sorry about that. So it's to inform the countries that we have declared our independence through the mandate given to us by Biafrans, of which over 50 million has voted for our self-referendum. You can't ignore that. You can't ignore that. You can never ignore that. So, by this, many countries have done what we are doing today. Some of the analysis from experts will ever remember and inscribe the Biafra pattern of independence and declaration to the history book. In view of all the strategies of delegitimization and legitimization, that is something that you must understand. The three sub-genres. All right, can you hear me?
Yes, you're back now.
It's hung up before, but we can hear you now.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, those people that are calling me should please stop. You don't call when I'm live. There are many major three important principles that I would say in the Declaration of Independence. The grievances declaration, the institutionalizing declaration, and the commitment declaration. These particular three principles, I would say, subgenres of the Declaration of Independence of Biafra is being worked on as I speak to you today by the Biafra Declaration Drafting Committee. And you must understand that we are 1 million steps ahead of Nigeria. That I must tell you. If you do not know today, know that we are 1 million. Before Nigeria will make any move, it is the move I have made 6 months ago. So we are very, very far, like very, very, very far ahead of Nigeria. Now, the prime example of this declaration can be found in the United States Declaration of Independence of 1776. And even during the Biafra Declaration of Independence in 1967, it was only few grievances that was listed. Only some grievances that were listed during the Biafra Declaration of Independence. Today, we are adopting every grievances, listing them against Nigeria state. That has never been done in the history of Biafra until now. I want people to understand, especially those illiterate, who are on the side of the IPOB Nigeria. You know, the kind of confusion that we put into them is very amazing. You will see the people supporting the drug lord Nigeria Tinubu shouting, Simon Ekpa, go and die, this is that. You will see the IPOB Nigeria shouting, Simon Ekpa is working for Tinubu, is working for Nigerian government. Have you ever seen any confusion like that? Have you seen any confusion like that? Why the Afonjas are crying that I am destroying every plan of their organs in Nigeria, within the Nigeria state? The IPOB Nigeria, they are shouting, I am working for Nigeria. Why Nigeria is crying? That is the highest confusion. They don't know what is going on, because they never believe that Nigeria can be challenged. You know how they address Nigeria? The most populous country in Africa, the biggest economy in Africa, the giant of Africa, the this and that, the evil entity is going down. They never believe that Nigeria can be challenged until today. Nigeria terrorist army never believed that Biafrans can actually volunteer to, risk their life to defend others. They thought everybody loved money. They thought every Biafra want life. They want everybody want to live. They never believed that people can actually sacrifice their life for others. Nigeria never believed it. But today, it is happening. Volunteers of the Biafra Defense Forces are sacrificing their life for others. And this is unimaginable to the Nigerians. They never believed that a day like this will come, where people can actually give selfless service, where people can become patriotic, where you can see people dying for what they believe in. And it is very, very surprising to the Islamic Nigeria state. I'll give you an example of this declaration, even the recent one of Donetsk Act of 2014, Nigeria state, demanding the recognition and acceptance of the self-referendum. Not only that, we are not sending it to Nigeria state for them to accept. They are never going to accept, and we know that. We will also communicate the African Union, even when we don't even like them. We will also communicate ECOWAS, even when we don't like them. We will officially communicate all these institutions, seeking the approval of what we have done in exile, the history that we have done. And we will also officially communicate the United Nations through our international partners. We are not doing all these things for them to agree immediately, no, but believe me, we will release hell on Nigeria. After this December 2nd, we will release hell on Nigeria. I want you people to focus on the ORB report, where they say, after this declaration, after this self-referendum of Biafra, there's going to be two options. That Nigeria will either issue a political statement, that is when we have officially communicated Nigeria, demanding the recognition and acceptance of the Biafra self-referendum. Nigeria will either issue a political statement or ignore a political statement and use it and come militarily. We are already used to the military activities of Nigeria state for the past 3 years. We are only going to increase and escalate it. And like I said, we choose how we fight this. So my fellow Biafrans, I have a lot to tell you on the update of what to expect. So that when you are discussing with people, you can defend yourself and defend the government and defend what we are doing when you have knowledge of what we are doing and what is to come. If you are in argument with all these idiots, you can be able to tell them what we are doing and what we are going to do. So I believe this small clarification and update on the declaration coming 2nd of December have put you in the right track. Immediately after this declaration, what follows next, I am repeating it again so that it will sink inside the head of even the Dundees. That one, we will write Nigeria officially, informing Nigeria of what Biafra have done, giving the result of the self-referendum to Nigeria state, demanding the recognition of Biafra as an independent state, demanding the acceptance of the self-referendum, also demand the withdrawal of every Nigerian military and institution in the Biafra territory. We are not expecting them to do that, but we're going to write them officially so that it will go into history book. 2, we will officially write the AU, ECOWAS, and all international organizations, informing them of what 50 million Biafrans, over 50 million Biafrans. I don't know how many that are going to vote by December or November 8, 28, when the voting will end. Inform them how many millions have voted and what Biafra has spoken, and we have spoken, and the exile government have declared Biafra, and this is the result. And this is our demand. Our demand is the withdrawal of every Nigerian institution, accept our declaration, accept our self-referendum, and there will be peace. We will inform the United Nations, using our international consultants and international partners, why our lobbyists will be heavily working, ruthlessly engaging in diplomacy at the White House and the Washington, D.C. You don't know what we have prepared. You can never, ever defeat us this time around. We come prepared, and I call it multi-dimensional approach. After that, we will begin to approach many countries with the document that we have raised and generated from Finland, from the declaration. It becomes official. Now we don't have any official document. Now we do not have any official. Only thing we are doing today is just awareness that Biafra is coming. Everything is awareness. Everything is that we are dying and we don't want to die. We want to defend ourselves. That's what we have been doing for the past 3 years. So from the 2nd of December, we will officially have a document, and officially we begin to demand recognition. Every recognition we demand today, we are not expecting anybody to recognize us. Why? On what basis will it be recognized? There is no basis for recognition. There is no basis today. The only reason we are doing this is to create awareness to those countries and those offices. And we have done that. After 2nd of December, we will have official declaration, official consent of the Biafra people. And then we will have the reason to demand for the recognition from the United Nations, from every country in the world. And my fellow Biafrans, let me also inform you that one African country already offers us a recognition as of today. And you will know it in days to come. We have gotten recognition from one African country. And those who call us their friend will extend our friendship and our hand of friendship to them. Biafra is the light of Africa. My fellow Biafrans, I welcome all of you to question and answer. I will be addressing some of your questions, but now you know at least some things to answer to those who do not know nothing and don't care to know. The roadmap to the independent state of Biafra from 2nd of December 2024. I welcome question and answer. The media team and the communication ministers and deputy, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, PM. Thank you, Biafran people. I don't know if my voice is coming out clear because the network is.